Greetings friends, my name's Denise. I run the Poshmark Closet Eat Play Love. It's Saturday and I'm just, out here getting things done. I'm getting things done around the house and I just wanted to quickly share a thrift haul with you or two. So last week I picked up 55 items on a Wednesday. I just sourced all in one day. And by Tuesday I had shipped out 13 of those items. And I haven't run the numbers on it yet, but I think I've sold close to 18 items. I did do a little shipping this week and I recorded some of that shipping. So I'm gonna go over some of my sales from my last Ship With Me video and yeah, just get down to it and talk about it. The first item that I picked up was actually this tote bag. This pattern stood out to me and then I noticed the tag on the side. This is Marimekko, which is a very popular kind of like pop art brand. I believe it's out of Sweden. It's really top tier. Their clothing pieces are particularly expensive, but they have been known to do collaborations. This particular bag was a collaboration with Target, and even though it's a Target collab, I always pick up Marimekko. Even like the little travel pouches for me, I can sell pretty easily, especially if I find them at the bins. I find them for a couple of dollars. I can sell them for like 12 to 18 depending on what it is. I picked up this really fun Lululemon skirt. This is old school. I haven't really dated it exactly yet. I picked up a pair of flax shorts and let me show you this label. I have sold a pair of these for $48. I picked them up for $2.50. So keep your eyes peeled for this label. I have had shirts like tunic length shirts. They're obviously the lag-in look. They did not sell as quickly and for as good of a price point as the shorts did. I think the shorts are a little bit more rare. So these are really fun, like green with a blue thread through them. I picked up a pair of Free People Movement. These are an old school pair of their leggings. I think they're a mid-rise. I am still picking up pieces like this because of my live shows. This was simply a live show sourcing. I got a really good price on it. I can confidently state if it wasn't for live shows, I would have left this piece behind. This is also a live show piece that I picked up, a pair of Athleta shorts in a size 16. They do not have a liner in them. I found these Free People Movement pants. These are of like Sonic pink, hot pink, and they just have some fun texture to them. These are a little bit more of a newer style, but have some wear to them and feel a little bit dated than their most current styles. I would say those were probably released around 2018 to 2020, so they're looking at about 4 or 5 years old. I couldn't leave these behind because they were $2.50. They're just a pair of Laura Ashley vintage floral pants. The size really sealed the deal for me. These are a USA size 14. I will have to take measurements on these because they are vintage in nature, and unfortunately a vintage size 14 may fit a little bit closer to like a size 10. These are just a really basic pair of Girlfriend Collective leggings. I also picked these up for live selling. These are an extra large. They do have a pocket on the side. They're navy blue leggings, so pretty cute, high rise. These are just a pair of Lululemon Aligns in black. And then I picked up a pair of gray Wonder Unders. Lululemon Aligns are probably one of the most coveted and easiest styles to sell. So I would pick up Lululemon Align whether I was having live shows or not. I found a really cute pair of Athleta. Here's the logo down here on the leg. These are a wide leg crop sweat pant, and these are an extra large. found a pair of figs, jogger style. A little warning just about figs. If you source figs, just do not use any stock photos. Just take really basic figs photos. Try to find the particular style, but just be careful because your posts pretty much will be removed. Figs is not a fan of the reselling community. These are extra, extra large. They have the really cute green tie to them and no cargo pockets. Well, they do have a zip pocket on the side, but they're not like a really cargo-y style figs. They're pretty streamlined. I found a pair of Madewell jeans, and what stood out to me was that these are called the baggy straight jeans, and barrel jeans and baggy jeans are very popular right now. The size 30 really stood out to me. I'm not a huge fan of this mid to darker wash, but I do think there is a market for the baggy style jean and a size 30, so that's why I picked it up. This is just a really basic hot coral and navy blue Lululemon bra in a size, I want to say 4, but maybe actually it's a 6. I do have a few items that are in the dryer right now that I'm going to pull out before the end of the video. It is a size 6. I picked up this marine layer t-shirt. There's the label. Pretty standard. I got this for $2. It was half price. It was $3.99, 50% off tan was this week. So that's why I picked this up, because it was $2. I would have probably picked it up if it was $4. It's not going to sell for very much. I would say 15 to 25, somewhere in that range. I did find a Lululemon Swiftly Tech in a size 6. And just to show you quickly, if you want to know how to size a Swiftly if it doesn't have the rip tag, you just take a closer look in the waistband, and typically on the side, you're going to find the size built in or woven into the waistband at the bottom. Lululemon Sculpt Tank in a size 10. Luckily for me, it still had the rip tag in it, and now I will use the measurement pit to pit to help inform me for when I find future Lululemon tank tops that don't have the rip tag in it, and obviously they're not going to have a size dot. I picked up a We The Free, just basic long sleeve t-shirt. This was also half price. I believe this was $6.99 with 50% off, so it was $3.50. That's really the sweet spot for me for a Free People t-shirt. I found this gorgeous Bryn Walker linen top, and the beauty about this is that it just happens to be new with tags, and that is $120 retail value. Now, I have picked up a Bryn Walker sleeveless white shirt before, and it is still sitting in my closet probably 2 years later. I did have some faith in the extra large size of this and that it was still new with tags, so I went for it. I picked up a Free People thermal. These are the best selling style Free People tops for me. The style that always has the patchworky, quilty variation with lace or embroidery on the sleeve, more of a balloon style sleeve. I do like picking up Pilcrow, that is an Anthropologie label, thermal shirts. They also sell well for me. This obviously has a more modern boxy fit to it and a little bit of a better size range. Even if it's an extra small, it would fit through a medium. I found this Free People size small, I would say tunic length sweatshirt that is going to fit like a half sleeve about down to the elbow. It's a little bit ombre and coloring, and I do host Free People shows, and in those shows I'm really able to move a lot of Free People clothing that I think would sit in my closet. So some of these pieces, as I have mentioned, are live show specific pickups. I need a lot of items. I need about 50 items to fill my tray, and so if I can get them between $5 and $8 or less, I pick them up for a live show. Free People cardigan. I loved the color of this. It's got a dolman sleeve, pockets, and it does have kind of these really cute snaps in the front of it as well. I love this dusty rose color. Up this Pilcrow extra large plaid shirt. It's green. It's got a pop over styling, which means it doesn't button all the way down the front. It's a little bit cropped, that wider, boxier fit. A piece like this I think will do really well for me. I like finding extra large and larger and more modern Pilcrow pieces, and when you see a tag like this actually feels suede. This is definitely a more modern Pilcrow piece. Pilcrow in general is probably the best selling of all the Anthro labels. That's just how it is. The pieces that I find, Pilcrow seems to rise to the top. I feel like it was the score of the century. This was $4.99 with 50% off, so it was $2.50. This has a little bit of a feather pattern to it. Now, the brand on this is Icebreaker Merino. So this is a merino wool shirt dress. It has this big long belt to it. Icebreaker likes to do this kind of double, triple belt styling. I'm gonna be able to sell this anywhere from $48 to $70. I could not pass on this. I've only picked up Draper James a few times, but I thought this midi dress was just so pretty. I don't know Reese Witherspoon's actual level of involvement with Draper James, but I have found her before in advertisements for Draper James, so I don't know if she owns the company or is just involved with the company. I really did think this was super pretty, especially with spring, wedding, baby shower season around the corner. Leave no Dead & Company stuff behind. The band has officially retired. They're coming out of retirement for a run in Las Vegas, but this is a hoodie from Playing in the Sand, which was in Mexico. I love picking up any kind of Dead & Company merchandise. This is just a cashmere sweater. Now, Equipment is not a brand that I typically source, but this color, the fit, and that it was 100% cashmere is what helped me pick up this item. It was only $6.99, and so I didn't feel like that was a very big investment. If it was priced more like $12.99, I definitely would have left it behind. This is just a basic Garnet Hill cashmere sweater. I do feel like Garnet Hill makes superior cashmere and that it does have a following in the secondhand market, so I like to pick it up. Even though this is a small, I was all over it. Always check your cashmere pieces, and the biggest tip that I have is when you're in the thrift store, don't feel weird about it, but give yourself this bird's eye view up looking into the piece to make sure that you didn't miss any holes in it. And both of these cashmere pieces are in great condition. This is really just a personal style preference, but I do not leave vintage, especially British, wool sweaters behind that kind of feel like a cable knit, fisherman knit. This is Thomas Keeling. I didn't pick it up for the brand. I picked it up because it was 100% wool. It was this cream color fisherman knit, and that it was a size extra large. Here is the tag on it. Never heard of the brand before. This was made in England. And I have sold these in pretty small sizes before, so finding an extra large was like hitting the jackpot. I didn't give it a look underneath my ring lights, but from what I can tell, I don't see any discoloration spots on this sweater, which is just a little baby miracle. This brand I have only sourced once. It's Wooden Ships, and it sold for me the sweater. It said Lake Life on it or something. It sold for me very, very quickly. So when I found this piece, I was excited. I know Wooden Ships is a good seller for people. It has a little bit of a faux wrap styling in the front, a cowl neck, very, very soft, loose, open knit. I found this Patagonia women's hoodie. It is, I believe, the better sweater. It's got a little stretch panel on the side. It's green. It does have thumb holes. It has zip pockets on the front and the chest, and it also has a hood. Here is this men's Patagonia jacket I picked up. This was only $7.99. It's just kind of like a spring layer, but it does have the R insulation in it, which is these little kind of tiny squares. It's that bright orange rust color. In women's, I feel like it's a harder move than to, you know, get it out of your closet than it is for men. Men do tend to pick up this color. This is a 1.5 scores. I found this Free People coat. It is a furry coat, and gorgeously enough, it has its original tag of $168. The inside of it is like what you would find with a shearling piece. It's soft and suede. So essentially it's a shirt jacket with pockets. Let me change my camera a little tiny bit. Look at this. Oh, it is cozy, cozy. You know, really edging on the part of the season where this clearly isn't going to be as quick of a move as I'm hoping for, but I'm definitely not leaving a piece like this behind, even if it takes until next fall to sell. And the last piece that I am going to be posting is something that I picked up on Poshmark, and it's just this gray tunic length sweatshirt with a hood and some really fun pleating on the sleeves. I wanted like a big oversized sweatshirt to wear to and from the yoga studio, and I like it, but it's a little bit thick and bulky for me, so I've decided I'm just gonna sell it. I thought I would just share that piece because I'm gonna get all of these items posted. I'm hoping today. Let's talk about a few other obscure things that I am not a huge sourcer of Pyrex, but when I find the turquoise pieces, it's hard to leave them behind. This is a 1.5 quart casserole dish, and it had the original lid. There's truly like not much signs of wear at all in this. It's in beautiful condition. So even though it is a pain in the butt to ship, I decided to pick it up. Let me just take a closer look at the weight on this. So that weighs 4 pounds 8 ounces, which means after I get that properly wrapped to ship out to someone, that is gonna definitely weigh up to 6 pounds. So I will have to either build in that extra cost in what I sell that for, recoup my cost for having to pay extra for that to ship. 5 pounds is the cutoff. I found a pair of black Rothy loafers in a size 10. They are like a weave knit, and they were a mess. In case you don't know, Rothys need to say made in China on the label, and it's going to be underneath where the size is. So it says women's 10, and then it's going to say made in China. I also can reference this on the back side of the sole. Sometimes that wears off, so it's not always present. Don't assume that it's not real if it doesn't have that. I also picked up these super cool Danskos. They are a wool Dansko. A lot of people love the leather Danskos, but I've also found that pieces like this in a size 41 will do well. I am happy to report these items are dry, so let me share with you quickly what I picked up. These are a pair of Holding Horses, which is also an Anthro label jeans. I loved the wash of these and also the detailing of the patchwork on the front of them. They have some shishiko, which is like Japanese style patchwork. I picked up this Ever Eve sweatshirt, and I really think the person donated it because it did have a grease stain on the front, which I have gotten out with just some good old Dawn dish soap. Don't be shy, guys. Use your dish soap on grease stains. You don't have to worry about it doing anything to the color of your piece. This is the Ever Eve label. I saw one of these sold on Posh for $70, and I didn't see any more. It has that really cute ruffle puffle sleeve, and it's a hoodie. It is a size extra small, but I'm not really concerned about that for the style of this piece. I think it'll do fine. I picked up an Athleta fleece hoodie. Now this piece is older and it doesn't have the drawstring, but I'm typically not concerned about pieces not having the drawstring. A little bit of like a mock neck styling, kind of like the Lululemon Define jacket. And then it has a little zip pocket on the sleeve and 2 pockets in the front. It's definitely like a hoodie, but it feels a little bit more of like a synthetic fleece than like a cotton zip up hoodie. I have not sourced a pair of driftwood jeans in a while, but I do like picking up driftwood. The embroidery on these, I loved the color of. A little more on the autumn side, but still so pretty. Even though they were a dark wash, they were $8.99 with 30% off, so they were $5.99. I love that price point for driftwood. They really do sell in like the $45 to $60 range. I found just a basic Viore tank. It's green. It doesn't have a size in it. Their tags typically like wash out over time, but it did have the label here. The thrift store missed this one, so this piece was $5. They would have definitely marked it up at this thrift store, so that was a little score on my end. Pat myself on the back for paying attention. And the last item that I picked up was a pair of Lululemon Wonder Unders, black floral. And let me just show you, if you open up the little pocket here, sometimes they can wear out, sometimes they could be an older generation, but for the most part, you're going to find this little size dot. So these are a size 6. And then I will use the information on the outside to determine the exact print, but I know without even putting anything in that these are a Wonder Under because that seam goes straight across the back. It feels like they're a Luxtreme, and they seem to be a 28-inch inseam. That's about 44, 45 pieces, and I am confident that that number of sourcing is something that's easy for me to accomplish to get posted right away. I'm really trying to stick with the momentum of sourcing and posting the weekend right after I source, clean, all of those things, the items. Okay, since my last video, I, came clean and mentioned I think I sold 5 things last weekend, and then I sold 18 things live selling on Monday. I did have 2 live shows. I decided to have one in the evening and I had one during the day like I normally do. And then Tuesday things really picked up for me. I believe I did put some likes into bundles and I sent out special bundle offers to people, but these are the items that I have shipped out this week since my last video. I sold a pair of Lululemon Align joggers. They were the Incognito Camo in a size 6. They were 28-inch Align joggers. They sold for $58. I sold a pair of Figs Katarina Cade cargo scrub pants and matching top. It was a denim blue for $49. I'm not sure if you saw the video, but I had picked up 3 sets of almost in near perfect condition figs, and one of those sets has sold. So the Align joggers were just posted last weekend and sold on Tuesday. I sold an Orla Kylie green stem carry-all tote bag. It was a large size to an offer from Liker. It was I sold it for $70. That was also just posted last weekend. I sold a pair of Red Wing Classic mock boots, and I had picked those up at the bins. They were super distressed, and still I made over, let's see, I paid $5 for them, so I still made $47 on those shoes after my cost of goods and posh fees. I did sell a bundle of Smart Wool Racerback sports bras for $42. So the offer I sent out on them was $21 a piece. I had them in my closet for $32 each. Smart Wool can have washwear and discoloration to their bras, but I made that offer. I disclosed what condition they were in, and I'm really happy with that. I sold those were just posted last weekend as well. I sold a Johnny Was floral boho top in, it had some irregularities to it. There were some pulls to the back of the shirt which were kind of hard to see. I sold that for $25. That shirt I originally had in my closet for $25, and when it reposted I upped the price to $42 so then I could send out a deep discount on it of $25, and people jumped at that opportunity. Sometimes you have to use a little mindful strategy on items, and oftentimes it works to get that sale. I sold a Rothy's canvas tote bag for $17. That was an offer from Liker. I sold a bundle of 2 Free People movement tops. They were just crop tops for $48, so I got $24 a piece for those in that bundle sale. They were also just posted last weekend. I really had some luck on items that just recently posted. I sold to an offer from Liker a pair of Birkenstock Eva sandals. Eva is their foam flip-flop style sandal. I had them in my closet for $18 and someone offered me $15. I sold a Waif Delancey floral dress for $15. That was new with tags. I had bought this at a yellow tag sale at Marshall's, and you know, at the time a couple of years ago I was watching YouTube videos and saw people talking about retail arbitrage at Marshall's and TJ Maxx for yellow tag sales. It's not for me. I just, you know, those items are at Marshall's for a reason. I think you really have to have a good eye for it and hope that you can find more top tier brands. You know, Waif is a brand that you can find at Nordstrom, but honestly, I just never again. I understand the strategy and I understand people have success with it, but my location of Marshall's and TJ Maxx just doesn't allow me that same success. On the other hand, I have found a Farm Rio maxi dress before in a yellow tag sale, just randomly, not really going out to find it, but I did, and I did sell that, but you know, it was a little risky because it was more expensive, so. I sold a pair of Frank and Eileen Jameson utility jogger pants for $125. That was just a straight offer to Liker. I sold a solid and striped Cabana shirt. It had tiger prints all over it. So Sophia Richie Grain is collabing with Solid and Striped to release a line of clothing, and I think some of us anticipated that she was starting her own clothing line, and was a surprise to hear that she was collabing with Solid and Striped after all. So I was excited and thought maybe Solid and Striped will get some momentum. I have had that piece in my closet since last summer. I paid $2 for it in a community yard sale, garage sale. It's like one neighborhood in Boulder has a big sale every year, and I found it there. I sold a J. Crew schoolboy linen blazer in blue crosshatch for $55. I believe I had it in my closet for closer to $78, and I am happy with $55. This is another piece that I have just sourced in the last 2 weeks, and it sold. I sold a Saison Bonjour Denver tote bag. It was an item that I received for free when I placed an order with Saison, so that was all pretty much profit to me, or offsetting the cost of what I spent at Saison. I sold a UC Santa Barbara Crewneck Sweatshirt for $30. That was an offer from Laker, and I was chatting up the woman who bought it because my daughter goes there and her daughter is going to be transferring there. I sold 3 pieces this morning: an Anthropologie silk floral top, a Helmut Lang sleeveless silk top, and a Patagonia Lost Wildflower midi sundress. Those have not been shipped out yet, so I may be talking about them in my ship with me on Monday morning. And that's all I have for my pickups. And then for my sales since my last video, things did really normalize on that Monday. I think I had $450 worth of sales on Monday, so that really made a difference for my $100 in sales over the weekend. Something else I didn't share with everyone that also brought me $50 over the weekend was my daughters wear a lot of Brandy Melville clothes, and I will be posting some of their clothes in more of like a bundle. The pieces only sell for anywhere from like $8 to $20 depending on what it is. And so a friend of mine has 3 daughters, and I sold her a bundle of clothing for $5 to $10 a piece, and I made $50. So I can tack on $50 in sales from last weekend, and that's pretty much all I have. I need to get photographing, and then tonight I vow to get all of my items back into their inventory bins. I will be having a live show on Monday. It feels like Monday has turned into my sweet spot of live sales. My daughter comes home from college next week for a few days, so I want to be available for her, and I won't be hosting any live shows later in the week. I hope everyone is seeing an uptick in their sales, or at least something that is making you happy. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back in a few days. May kindness light your path. Take care, everyone.